Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It's morning for me, so it's morning for you. How is everyone doing? Hello, Kwecha. Hello, Sithy. Hello, Dennis. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Joel. How's everyone doing? Good morning. I have coffee. Very excited for it. I have to read the Sega's update. I got the email. I haven't read it yet. It is 19 minutes into the afternoon for me, and therefore for everyone. No, Dennis, you don't know how this works. I'm the streamer, so it's my time zone. Sleepy. I know me. I'm sleepy too, man. I've been sleeping on the couch because, as we all know, the baby got neutered. So we've been trying to keep him separate from the other animals at night when we can't have a closer eye on them. So I've been sleeping out on the couch because Macy has to sleep with me, otherwise she's gonna have a heart attack. My back hurts so bad, guys. I told Joel, I was like, I think I'm gonna need to sleep in the bed tonight. Yeah, huh? I too have my coffee in the mornings, therefore wonderful. Hell yeah. Sometimes you just need a little coffee. Anytime my morning has been bad, it's usually because I don't have coffee. It's kind of how that works. Caffeine withdrawal is real. Anyway, oh my god, I forgot to change the thing on this. Ignore that. Say goodbye to that. How silly of me. I was trying to get everything together this morning. That's why I was late. Whoops. Hi, Lumix. So today we're going to be trying to build out a Mass Effect TTRPG using the Year Zero engine as a basis. I know a decent amount about the Year Zero engine. I've played the Year Zero engine through a lot of Free League games. But I did want to kind of go through and read a little bit more about it. And then also today I wanted to sort of put together the things that I think, and if you guys want to also contribute, this is going to be a collaboration. If you guys also want to contribute anything that you think should be important in a Mass Effect TTRPG. I know right off the bat, I was literally like up at like 5 in the morning because Bosa knocked down the cat cam that had treats in it, and then Macy was eating the treats that fell on the floor that I was too lazy to clean up at 5 in the morning. I was like, man, I'm trying to think about like biotics and how to implement biotics in a way that is fun, fresh, and freaky. So I have some thoughts. Oh, I can't wait to hear them. Cracks knuckles. Maybe I should. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll wait here, Jeremy. Don't worry. Go ahead. We'll wait. They're working in concert. They're like collaborating together. They did that with Macy's Streets the other night too. Yeah, it's like super quick. It'll only take you about 120 hours, maybe. Like, yeah, 200. We can wait. I'll see you in a week, Jeremy. Anyway. Well, we do know if you play the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the trilogy, one day a week, you will finish it for at least 4 hours. You will finish it in a year. And that was an experiment that we did on me. Anyway, let's look at, we're gonna just kind of do a little introduction to the, why does it look like this? Why is it doing that? I don't like that single page view. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Oh, they were on sale. I am terrible, terrible Slack. I lied then. It's 1,200 hours. I can't believe you've never. I'm always like amazed that people have never played Mass Effect because it's important to me, so I'm like, it must be important to other people. Sir Oatmeal has figured out how to get past the cone, and he has started to look at his stitches. He's gotten one of them loose. Debating if I should call the vet about that or not. But I don't know, it seems fine still, like it wasn't bleeding or anything. It was a 360 exclusive for a while, right? I'm not sure. I played it on PlayStation 3. At least when it came out for the PlayStation. Anyway. So many good things. I'm just terrible at finishing games, so I never got the Mass Effect series, but I'm going to do it. It's so worth it. The story is really beautiful. The characters are amazing. Gameplay can be a little tedious. Like it's very much, it's a shooter, you know? It's not super different in that, but man, the story and everything else make up for any shortcomings that it might have. Darn, I know. Anyway, so if you're familiar with like the Alien RPG, this is what the Alien RPG runs off of, a modified version of the Year Zero engine. I like the Year Zero engine because it is very easy to learn and it is simple. And you basically, there are two different dice pools that you can use for the Year Zero engine. You can either use like the dice pools where you gather together a bunch of D6s, or they have another version called step dice. I don't think that we'll be using the step dice in this. The step dice is basically you roll it's kind of similar to Sega's actually, where you roll a certain die, like a D6, D12, whatever, depending on the ability for that. But I think we're gonna use dice pools instead because I think that is just easier. He just wants his balls back. So yeah, I think we're gonna use just the D6s. I don't know what it is. I love a dice pool. Step dice get stuck in the dryer all the time. Step dice, what are you doing? I think I also like the concept of dice pools because I feel like it's really satisfying to, and this is like my little ooga booga brain is like clicky clacky, yeah, like I like the clicky clacky, because you get to roll a bunch of dice. I like that. I think I just think that's fun. So kind of what we're going to focus on today is in like talking about the game and what we kind of want out of the game is how we want to set up a character, because I think honestly at the core of it, that would be what we really want to focus on for the game is how do we want people to be able to customize their characters and what sort of mechanics do we want to implement behind those characters. I think that other things within like the Mass Effect universe, like travel, resources and stuff like that, that'll be a bit easier to kind of narrow down. But I think that trying to figure out what we actually want our character and our character sheets to look like is pretty important. Yeah, it's just science or math or something. It's definitely something. It makes my brain tingle, so it must be great. So in the Year Zero engine, and again, we can adjust these. But in the Year Zero engine, they usually start with some sort of archetype. So in Alien, it's like colonial marine, scientist, medic, pilot, captain, officer, something like that, corporate. So those are the archetypes that you would start with in like the Alien RPG. I'm kind of debating. So we have the like soldier, engineer, adept, all of that within the Mass Effect as like the base classes for Mass Effect. And I'm wondering if we should make those the archetypes for the game, just have like the classes be the archetypes. I think that would make the most sense as opposed to trying to build out anything else because it's already in the game anyway, and people are familiar with it. Using the microwave with my headset on makes my brain tingle. Don't worry about it, creature. Your brain's not gonna explode. So there would be 6 archetypes to start from. I think the thing that I have been thinking about the most is the attributes. I think that I want to keep the attributes the same. So strength, agility, wits, and empathy. And the attributes are going to be what you're going to be building your dice pools on, because each attribute has has skills attached to it, very similar to D&D, where you have your abilities and then your skills associated with each ability. So I think we're going to keep strength, agility, wits, and empathy. But I think that we might go and change a bit of the skills to make them a little bit more appropriate for the... Maybe. I feel like we could kind of build off of a little bit more of the Alien version of Year Zero engine, just because it is sort of a similar vibe. And each class has 2 subclasses. Yeah, I feel like we could do it where, like, once you hit a certain point, you'll be able to kind of get that specialization as well. You'll have fun. Oh, have fun, Lumix! Have a good time. But yeah, we see our dice pools. Human attribute scores range from 1 to 5. Starting scores, you will typically have 14 points to distribute across your attributes. You can assign no less than 2 and no more than 5. I think that's perfectly fine. Obviously, if you have 5 in an attribute, that means you're extraordinary at it. And so I think that each archetype will have to assign each archetype a key attribute that you have to, like, well, I wouldn't say you have to, but it encouraged players to have sort of a higher score to. Health and resolve, your health will be equal to your strength and abilities and agility scores, rounding up. And what you just find, sir? Looks so stupid with his little cone. Yeah, see, as you can see here, the this is the SEP dice. So everyone would start with a D8, and then once you make increases, you go up to a D10 and then like a D12. I don't think I like that. Not for this system, at least. And then, yeah, I want to do dice pools. I just really love dice pools. Let's see if we can find personality traits. I want to see, here we go, skills and specialties. So we have, these are the 12 core skills: force, melee, stamina, marksmanship, mobility, stealth, crafting, observation, survival, healing, insight, persuasion. Yeah, I think we're going to change those. I think melee, force, and stamina are probably fine. Marksmanship. I think marksmanship I would want to change to and have it be long range and short range. And I feel like mobility and stealth are sort of the same thing. Because that's what you roll for Alien when you're doing like a stealth check. I'm pretty sure you roll a mobility roll. And it's not called stealth. Observation. I think we can get rid of crafting. Hey, Lord Gasumba, thank you so much for that raid. Alice Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, you again.
Thank you so much. Welcome on in. Hi, Coco. Hi, Justinius. Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. Hi guys, I'm Myriad. If you don't know me, we do a myriad of things on this channel, including art, variety gaming, as well as TTRPG content. And right now we're doing some TTRPG content. We are attempting to build a Mass Effect TTRPG, if you're familiar with Mass Effect. It's one of my favorite game series. Thank you so much for the follow. And we're attempting to build a Mass Effect TTRPG based on the Year Zero engine from Free League. Welcome on in. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much. Thanks for those resubs too. I appreciate you guys. How is your game? What's up, Raffle? Hello, Harley Quinn, Bruin. What's up, Rob? Hi, Chuck. Hi, Astro Liar. Welcome on in, guys. Right now, we're kind of just getting started. We're just talking about sort of the basis for the Year Zero engine and how we kind of want to change it to accommodate for Mass Effect and the Mass Effect lore, and how I would like to kind of play a game of Mass Effect if it were a TTRPG. Kind of familiarizing myself with the Year Zero engine as well. I've played it a little bit with the Alien RPG, if anyone's familiar with that, as well as some other Free League games. And I really like this engine. It's very simple. It's very easy to learn. So I thought it would be pretty perfect to build a Mass Effect game based off of this system. Well, come on in. Can I tell you about? You absolutely can tell me everything about the nachos. I had a 3/4 of a pancake this morning, so I feel like I'm on top of the world. I actually ate breakfast this morning. So let me, I think that we're going to Art of Failure. We know pushing your roll. I also want to think of, I think I want to implement stress die, but I don't know that I want to actually call them stress die. Learning Forbidden Lands right now and loving, yeah, man, it's so easy to learn, but it's so like effective. I really like that they kind of give you two options for the Year Zero engine for the various games. You can either use dice pools or step die, and man, I love a dice pool. I love just rolling a shit ton of dice. So that's like, for my little caveman brain, that really just makes it tingle and does all the right things for me. Oh, thanks for the follow. Facts, we played Forbidden. How was it last night, Siddhi? Brazilian pork and black bean stew, Mexican 4-cheese blend. Oh my god, queso fresco, fresh cubed tomato, sour cream with fresh meat. Oh my god, that sounds delicious. Ruffle, I would like pay you to come out and just like cook for me. And I feel like what I want to do as well is I would like to have so with the Year Zero engine, you have stress die. So what happens is during a game, as things ramp up, a lot of the times you will accumulate stress, and the stress translate into a separate dice pool called stress die. And when you make a roll, any sort of skill roll, you are going to roll your stress dice with the dice pool for that skill. And if you get a 1 on one of your stress die, you are then going to roll on the panic table. And then using that, you are going to roll a d6, and then you are going to add the amount of stress you have, and then the result that you get is sort of the outcome of that panic roll. And I think I would like to make a separate panic roll table for biotics. Because I think that would be really cool to sort of have a separate one for characters who have biotic powers to account for like their biotics freaking out in like a bit of a panic. Oh my god, I'm so proud of you, Siddhi. Happy Saturday. Well, come on, Longshot, how are you? Getting high and thinking how I can hide veggies in my skinny ass husbands. I love that. I love that raffle. This would be, I mean, you could probably do it for either one player and a GM or multiplayer. I think with a little bit of finagling, a lot of TTRPGs can be sort of adjusted towards 2-player. Thanks so much for that hype train, by the way, guys. Then we have opposed rolls. I don't want to get too much into all of like the gear stuff. Not quite yet. I really do want to focus on more of the character skills and everything right now. Perils of the Warp and Warhammer. I feel like, Creature, you can just relate anything back to Warhammer, and that's what I appreciate about you. Okay, so this is what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at these skills. So we have 4 attributes: strength, agility, wits, and empathy. I think that we're going to keep those as the base 4 attributes, but I think that we're going to adjust the skills a little bit, because I sort of feel like mobility and stealth are a little redundant. And I think that they also did that as well in Alien RPG, where if you were making a stealth check, you actually did a mobility roll instead of they didn't have it labeled as stealth. So I did want to look at the skills to kind of see where we could adjust, and how we could adjust a little bit. Asked because one of the unique things about feeling a Mass Effect is that there are a lot of gameplay loops. Your ship life and station exploring feels very different from combat or launching probes. The dating sim is very unlike the combat. Yeah. And I've seen people talk about how I've seen people say things how a Mass Effect TTRPG should have a relationship mechanic built into it. However, I disagree with that. I don't think, unless the focus of the game is, Maisie, the dog. Unless the focus of the game was going to be the relationships. Hey, Maisie, quiet. Come here. Unless the focus of the game was going to be relationships, I don't think that, like, as someone who really enjoys RP and those organic, ooh, someone does not agree with your opinion. I know. She's so mad. She's like, I disagree and I have thoughts about it. Unless it is the focus of the game, the relationships is the focus of the game, I could understand having mechanics for it. However, as someone who is very into roleplay and the organic nature of roleplay, I think that fitting relationship aspects into a mechanic in a TTRPG is very limiting. And I don't like that. I don't want to have to worry about relationship points and approval and disapproval in a TTRPG. In a game, like in an actual physical video game where that's built into like the coding and everything, that's one thing, but to have to then account for like all of the approval and disapproval stuff, that is kind of well known within the BioWare games. I don't think that translates well to a TTRPG. Yeah, no need to turn RP into a, yeah, exactly. If this Mass Effect TTRPG is going to be about life on the Citadel, I will riot. No, I mean, there's definitely going to be like Citadel stuff and you're going to have ship stuff and everything like that. But I think at the heart of like a Mass Effect game, it's about like, no, it's about saving the galaxy, dude. Hi, Tonk. Hi, Cookie. How you guys doing? So we have a bunch of skills here. So we have Force, which is associated with Strength. So you would be rolling your dice pool for Force with your dice pool for Strength. When something heavy or solid blocks your way and you need to lift, push, or break it, roll for Force. Use this skill for any feat of Strength. I don't mind that. Melee, sometimes you need to fight for your life hand-to-hand with your opponent. Roll the skill when you attack someone or defend yourself using only your body or a melee weapon. I think I would like to use this just because I want to make it so you can attack with your Omni tool as well. I believe that was a thing in, I don't know if it was Mass Effect 3 or if it was Andromeda, where you could attack with your Omni tool. So I want to give people the option to stab with their Omni tool. I like that. Stamina, when your physical endurance or vigor is tested, roll for stamina. For example, the skill is used to survive underwater or to resist a deadly poison. You also roll stamina to stay alive when you have suffered a lethal critical injury. Again, I think we're going to keep a lot of the strength ones. I think that those are pretty relevant for the game. Scythie hates the Citadel. I agree about that take on relationship mechanics. For high-tech facility, there's an awful lot of walking on the Citadel. You would think that they would have like the you know, in like the airport where the flat escalators, what are they called? You know, when you just stand on it and it just transports you straight. Oh, I do like the elevator convos. Those are always fun for me. The people movers, exactly. That's the technical term. More like on Wally. Oh, I'm gonna cry if you talk about Wally. Conveyor belts. Is that what they're called? I know, like in like a factory setting, yes. I just am trying to wrap my head around multiple Commander Shepherds at the same table. Seems like a nightmare. I mean, one, moving walkways. Yes, I think that's the actual term. There's only one Commander Shepherd. Yeah, one, there's only one Commander Shepherd. Two, I do want to have it so you could choose different races. So you can play Turian, Asari, Quarian. I probably stick with those, like Krogan, like the main ones, Solarian. I don't think I want to get into like Volus and stuff like that. I know that there are going to be people out there who want to play Volus, and to each their own. But yeah, I think I would want to have it so that you could play like was it like 5 or 6 main races? Maybe a game about the Mass Effect universe, not so much the storyline of the games. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I think it would be really cool if people do like the first Contact War. That'd be a pretty crazy like storyline to run through. Which is, if you're unaware, it's like when the humans finally figured out how to work the Mass Effect relay and made contact with all of the races. And it was like the Turians versus the humans. Only thing I can think of for Volus outside of traders is the biotic. You had me at Krogan. Listen, I cater to the people. Creature. So then we go into agility, marksmanship. Use the marksmanship skill to fire all types of ranged weapons. I think we can use that. Mobility, roll for mobility when you want to perform any action that requires speed or motor control, be it a risky climb, a dangerous jump, or a foot chase. And then stealth, I think that we're going to compact stealth and mobility into one, because I think that this is a little redundant. Because it says requires speed or motor control, and like, you're using your motor control when you're stealthing, and you're using your motor control if you're trying to pick someone's pocket. Like, that's your fine motor skill. You're trying to pick someone's pocket. You're trying to very daintily do it. So I think that those things can be compacted into one. Crafting, this is the wits part. This crafting skill is primarily used to repair broken gear or building new items, but it can also be used to understand or operate mechanical instructions. So I think I'm actually going to move, I'm going to kind of keep the same premise of this, but I think that we should use it more for the engineer side. If someone wants to play an engineer, I think that this would be a good dice roll for, in the same vein of like Comtech in Alien. So same vein. Observation, I think we can keep. The observation skill can be used to examine an area to find useful information or to spot something or someone from a distance. I feel like observation is useful in most TTRPGs. Oh, absolutely. A Solarian or maybe a Cardassian. They lose a stealth. Yeah, Melf. Oh, that's what we'll call it, Scythie. They lose a stealth check. You should make the whole party respawn at the test checkpoint. Hey, when did you guys just curious, when did you guys last save your game? No reason. Survival. Year Zero engine games often take place in harsh and dangerous environments. Roll for survival when you're in a hazardous environment of some kind, be it extreme heat and cold, sandstorms, acid rain, and other forms of extreme weather, and need to figure out a way to survive. Probably could use that. Healing, so empathy in many Year Zero engine games, your PC risks getting hurt. This is when the healing skill is useful. So I think I would just have this be medical aid. Insight, the skill represents the ability to read other people and see through lies. Roll for insight to assess an NPC's mood. I think insight is always like a good one. It's another good one to always have in a setting. And then persuasion. Sometimes you can make things go your way without resorting to violence. Instead, you trick or convince your opponents without drawing your weapon. For this, you can use the persuasion skill. Your opponent is actively trying to resist you. It's an opposed roll against their insight. If not, it's a straight roll. So I do want to... I'm trying to think of how to implement the Renegade and Paragon system as well. Because as you guys know, I love that system. And I kind of want to make it... That is like the one thing I would track is like Paragon and Renegade points, depending on like your... If you do something really fucked up, like you get a Renegade point. Because I kind of want to... I think what I would want to do, maybe this could be like a talent or something, where instead of using empathy in your quote-unquote persuasion roll, you can instead intimidate the person and use your persuasion plus your strength as an intimidate roll. I think that could be a lot of fun. No death, no hit playthrough on Fluffin' Legendary Edition. Just sneaking around. I don't know that that's even possible to like not kill anyone and still win the game. Some versions of Year Zero Engine have more than 3 skills for each attribute. Yeah, I want to think about how to implement that too, because I really want to have like, that is one of the things in the Mass Effect series that just really like draws me to it. Maybe Paragon and Renegade could be points pool used to shift outcomes of social interactions. Ooh. Like you have your pool of Paragon and your pool of Renegade. Because a lot of times you'll get a little bit of both. That's kind of how it works, unless you go full Paragon or Renegade, which most people in a normal playthrough, most people don't. So you'll have your pool, and you can use a specific amount of points to roll a specific pool of dice instead of the standard. So like if I ask you for like a persuasion roll and you're like, no, I have better intimidation, can I use my Renegade points instead to roll strength with that persuasion? Kind of like that. Maybe some kind of positive and negative reputation. Love and anger dice. Ooh. Yeah, kind of like luck points almost. Yeah. Could have a separate Paragon Renegade value that is used separate for the points pool for generic NPC reaction. Points could be consumed to pull extreme shifts. Kind of like that. I kind of like having like a pool of points to draw from. And like that pool of points like accumulates over a game as well. So the more that you accumulate and the higher the stakes become, the more you can actually like shift the tide of the game. I like that. I like having like a pool. Specialties. So this is when attributes and skills give you the broad strokes of your competency. Specialties represent specific areas of expertise. Specialties are unique tricks and talents that give you an edge and keep your adversaries guessing. You typically start the game with just one or a few specialties, with your choice limited by your archetype. You can learn more specialties during the game without being limited by your archetype. So this is talents in Alien RPG. That's what they're called. And here are here's a lot of stuff. Bodyguard, compassion, fast reflexes, field surgeon, flyweight, gut feeling. And I think that we would go in and do, I think that I would have it be so you start with 2 specialties, because I also want to, for like biotics, if you're a biotic, I want to make like each, like pull and toss and all of those. I want to make those, specialty moves that you can do during combat. I think that would be really cool to have those available to you during combat. And it Garrus has a specialty in winning my heart, truly. Yeah, okay. I like this. I think that we could work with this. So we're going to Bing bong. So we're going to start, after going through that stuff, we're going to kind of start and go through kind of what we think that we want for the game. I am biotic. Biotic these nuts, got 'em. So the attributes are going to be strength, agility, wits, and empathy. Biotic? How do I... I think biotic works. So we have strength, agility, wits, and empathy. So with strength, I think we're going to keep force, melee, and then what was the other one? Stamina. I also wanted to look up effect skills. I did kind of want to look up the skills and stuff that you actually get. I think we're going to change stamina to fitness, because that is the actual skill that you get in the game. Where is it? Sam, relax. I feel like if I really want to get into like the minutia of it, I could also give like different races and different species their like different skill sets, but I feel like that's a little too much. I think I would get a little lost in the sauce if I did that. Weapons, tech. So we're gonna do tech for wits. We have tech, which would be the equivalent of crafting. We're gonna do observation, and then maybe survival. Survival, question mark. Yeah, I think we're gonna do, so I think I want to do some racial bonuses as well. And I think what I want to do is I want you to get, I think what I want to do is do one specialty / talent for your race, and then 2 specialties for your archetype. So you'll start with 3 different talents you can use, and then those can increase as the game goes on. -1 empathy. And then empathy would be elf. Or you can do maybe first aid. Zero fucks, 4 balls. You know what I mean? Agility, weapons. I don't know if I want to break it down between like, because you'll have assault rifles, pistols, shotguns, and sniper rifles. So I don't know if I want to break it down. I think if anything, what I'll do is I will have a talent be specialty weapons, where if you have a specialty in like sniper rifles, you get a +1 or +2 or whatever to your dice pool. I think that might be the play to do it, instead of separating it from like ranged and short ranged weapons to short weapons. Piloting. Weapons, pilot. We'll just do pilot. And then mobility. I do like piloting. I like piloting. Because I do want it to be where you like, I want the players to also be able to like pilot the ship as well, if the ship is going to be like important part of the story and like things are going to take place on the ship. That's not to say that like people won't be able to have like an entire crew. Girl, you gotta relax. She hates these one neighbors, dude. I cannot help it. I know. They're musty. I know. Joker character incoming. I'll allow it. I do want to put a note. Specialty for weapons. Based. Specialty for weapons. Talent. Just so we have that. Are you intending for all mechanic bonuses to be additions to rolls, or might you also employ auto successes? I think... that's an excellent question, creature. I think that I would maybe allow for auto successes in the event that you are like that is your actual profession. Like if you're trying to hack something and like you're an engineer, and there are no environmental stressors. There's no like sort of whatchamacallit, there's no like anything that would kind of stress you out where there is the chance of failing. I think that I would allow those sorts of auto successes, but I think a lot of the times when you're going to be like hacking and things like that, there is going to be sort of like a time pressure or something going on in the environment that is going to stress you out. So I think that I would say that I will allow auto successes, but it is very dependent upon the situation in which you make that roll. Because I know it does feel bad when like that is like your specialty, like you are the hacker man, and you not auto success of the attempted action. Empathy should give you a bonus to finding out things about others. A psych stat? I think that's insight. I think we're gonna do insight. Oh god. Be gone, that's my shame. Because I feel like when you have like an actual, like if that is your gig, like you hack things, like that is what you do. I think like in the event of like, yeah, I'm just trying to open this terminal. There's nothing going on. There's no time constraint. We're literally just chilling. I think that kind of sucks when you fail that roll, to be honest. That's like a bad feeling. Of course, also, like, failure is part of the game. Libby feels his way about the neighbors on the one side of us. Oh yeah, no, Macy, they're just, the one neighbor's like right over here. She will bark at them like she knows when they're walking by too. No, so Year Zero Engine, you most of the time for most rolls you only need one success in order for you to complete it. If you have additional successes, you actually get stunts. So if you get an additional success, you can use the stunt to kind of push it a little bit further. Which is it's like a fun little thing. It's like if you're trying to hack a terminal, and you get like a stunt roll, you can actually say, well, I hack it like super quickly. So you actually don't waste that a large amount of time if you get like multiple successes. Is there a psych-based magic system like with the Asari or Jack? Is that empathy-based? Well, I would say that the empathy rolls, I think that I would have, if you're going to make a biotic check, I think that that's going to be an empathy-based roll. I think at least. Does that make sense to have biotics be an empathy-based roll? I was thinking about it and I thought that made sense to me in my head, but I am open to criticisms to that line.
Stranger.
Thanks for the follow. Come on in. But as for the Asari and their sort of little psychic thing, I think that would be that would be like a racial specialty I might implement, and it would be like they roll an empathy and insight, but they get a bonus to that. So they would be able to roll an insight check with like a +1 bonus in order to use their little psychic abilities. Makes more sense than play test it to find out. Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping maybe we'll do a little play test of this if we ever finish it up. Yeah, and in terms of balance. Yeah, right? Like, I thought, like... I feel like we think about, like, biotics in the world of Mass Effect, and it is very much sort of a... It's magic in terms of, like, a world setting, you know? So I feel like empathy is just, like, the best... Especially because, like, it's... From what we know about biotics, a lot of the times their moods and stuff can be affected or can affect their powers. Can affect like the implant and everything. So magic, but limited to certain physics. Yes. Yes. Willpower, which power spells and special abilities. So maybe something like that. Maybe call it power. Space wizardry. So I want to make it so like for the attributes and the skills, I want to make it so across the board, regardless of if you're like a biotic or regardless of your race, you have this very specific set of attributes and skills. And then if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of, well, I'm a biotic, I'm an engineer, I'm a a soldier, I'm an Asari biotic, I'm this, I'm that, then we get into the specialties, which will give you bonus talents, bonus powers with that additional like dice that you could add to your dice pool based on whatever you're trying to roll. So if like you're an Asari biotic and you're trying to roll on a biotic power, then you would roll like empathy and insight and you would get like a +2 because you're an Asari biotic. So you would be able to add 2 dice to that dice pool. You incentivize people to play empathetic characters by linking it to magic. It is a very good design choice for many perspectives, right? Don't be a dickhead. I mean, you can be a dickhead. It's Mass Effect. All right, so we have empathy is first aid, insight. What else do we want to put that with? I want to say, like, I don't want to say persuasion. But I do want to say persuasion because I feel like my D&D brain is going, persuasion means you're trying to do it nicely. But I also want to have it where you can be a dickhead. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right like phrasing for it. Like a persuasion, but not really persuasion. People skills. Because they have it as charm and intimidate. Manipulation? I like manipulation. I like manipulation. Because it's not necessarily like you're trying to sway it one way or another. Whether you're trying to do that through intimidation or persuasion. I like that. I like manipulation. So we have first aid. Coercion is a method. Coercion. Some light waterboarding, maybe. Okay. So I think this is a pretty good start. I'm still up in the air about survival. I think survival works. I feel like survival works for a Mass Effect setting. No? Or maybe just so I like social too. We're gonna social. We're gonna make note of it. Survival works in it. Yeah, true. Survival with a talent called Eye of the Tiger. Bless you. Communication. I feel like I don't know why. I feel like communication implies like you're like talking over a radio. That was Joel. Okay, so I think that for now, these are good. We have like the kind of baseline of what we want the skills to be. So we're also going to do heading 2. So we're gonna have our races. We're gonna have humans, Asari, Krogan, Solarians, Turians, and then Quarian. I kept wanting to say Kunari. Wrong Mass Effect game. Wrong BioWare game. I think that's like the 1, 2, 3. That's like the 6 main races, right? No Elcor, so sorry. I know you were really looking forward to playing an Elcor. No Volus. We're gonna do like the main races of the. I mean, maybe we could add like, we'll do additional races to be added is supplemental material. I don't want it to get too overwhelming. Yeah, it's in the DLC. That's also when you only go on the Citadel, and that's like you cannot leave the Citadel. That's that DLC. Sithy's gonna hate it. Spiders that make the keepers. Oh my god, I love them. All right, and then we have. We're gonna go to Mass Effect classes. So we have heading to classes / we'll say archetypes to keep it kind of the same within the Year Zero engine terms. So we have Adept, Soldier, Engineer, Vanguard, Sentinel, and Infiltrator. So I think we're gonna keep it the same because I think it just works. The slug. What about the robot? Oh my god. I kind of listen. I think if like you give me a reason that a Geth would be working with, if you give me a reason why a Geth would be working with a bunch of the other races, I would allow it. And I think we're gonna go so Mass Effect 2. So the specializations for Adept are Bastion and Nemesis, Commando and Shock Trooper. Engineer is Mechanic and Demolisher. Demolish these nuts. Vanguard is Champion, Destroyer. Sentinel is Guardian and Raider. What's up, Justice? How's it going? And then Infiltrator is Agent and Assassin. So ideally what I want to do is you would, at the start of the game, you're going to be choosing... Yeah, Mass Effect TTRPG, that's what we're working on. At the start of the game, you'll be choosing your race, your class / archetype. And then I kind of want to think about, what level, quote unquote level, how the XP would be working, how you would level up in this game. I'm not going to think about that right now, but at what point you would be able to choose a specialization, and for each of the 6 classes, you have 2 specializations to choose from. I think that works a lot better. Yeah, because this is from Mass Effect 2, which I like the specializations in Mass Effect 2 a little bit more than the ones in 1, so I always hated facing destroyers. I also like that there is very much a... For like Bastion and Nemesis, like Bastion, Nemesis, Commando, Shock Trooper, Mechanic, Demolisher, it very much seems like there is the Paragon specialization versus the Renegade. How does the specialization work in the video game? So once you reach, I think it's like level 20 or something like that, you get to choose a specialization based on the class that you're playing. And oh, thanks, Ad. Oh my god, 20 months. That's based on the class that you are playing, you choose a specialization. You get the option between 2 specializations, and it's basically just bonuses to specific skills or abilities for that class. So like, I think I chose Medic for my my Engineer, and so she gets like a bonus now to like her medical medical aid skill. Star Wars. So we're using the Year Zero engine from Free League. I have cat hair on my lip. Gross. So yeah, this is the we're using the Year Zero engine as the base, and kind of trying to build off of that. We have our classes and archetypes. Currently fighting through target. You're doing great, champ, kiddo, slugger. You can do it. Although honestly, it was really a mistake for you to choose to go to Target on a Saturday. Why would you do that to yourself? So we have our classes and archetypes, and then so what I do want to do is think about... So within character creation, I'll do another heading too. I'm gonna have to go in and reorganize all of this. So 1, you're going to choose your race. And there's going to be 1 specialty. It's very empty. That's bizarre. Is the plague happening? Just fighting 1 person in the home good style. 1 specialty for race. And then choose your archetype. And then 2 specialties. I don't know why I did that. 2 specialties for archetype. So I think what it is we're going to have each race will have maybe 6 specialties they can choose from at the start of the game. So you would choose one of those specialties. And then for your archetype, again, you'll have a list of specialties you can choose from for each archetype. And you can choose 2 of those specialties on character creation. And these are basically like talents, powers that you can use. Sometimes it's going to be something that you can use during combat. Sometimes it's going to be something you can use during RP, things like that. And then any additional specialties or specialties that you get will be throughout the game. So as you level up, maybe once you get your specialization, you'll be able to get more specialties. I think we're just gonna call them talents. We're gonna call them talents to make sure we don't get too far into the specializations, because that can get a little confusing. That'd be the only reason I'd be in a good time. The plague was 5 years ago, too soon. If I were to play this game, I would have a massive turn-up choosing between Asari and Turian. Oh, yeah. See, I think that I would always just go Quarian. I just love Quarian so much. I would totally be like a Quarian infiltrator or engineer. Ride or die Krogan. Sorry, with Turian parentage. Maybe get that voice reverb. Hmm. Parentage talent. Bonus based on parentage. That would be a cool talent for an Asari. So like if you I don't know, I think like Solarians are like really smart. So like if you're Asari, like if you are an Asari but your father or mother was a Solarian, maybe you get an additional you get a bonus to like a wits check or something like that. Like you could push a wits check once per session. You didn't change anything. It was just an addition because we were thinking about like different talents and things that we could do for the different races and classes. So I like to play as biotic commando kind of thing. So most likely I would be an Asari. I love an Asari commando. I think they're really fucking cool. So you would choose your talents and then distribute attribute points, 14. So it's 14 points, I think. We want to make sure it's balanced. Hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome on in. Definitely, it said it somewhere. I think it was 14. Yes, typically you can distribute 14 points across your attributes. No less than 2 and no more than 5. Go away. No less and no more than 5. 65. And then we have to think about key attributes as well. Key attribute. So an adept is, I believe, biotic specialist. So the key attribute for, I think, them is going to be empathy. Soldier. Key attribute is going to be strength. Engineer / mechanic. Engineer is going to be, key attribute is going to be wits. Vanguard. Biotic, and so key attributes. I think we're gonna do, so Vanguard is like a biotic and combat smooshed into one. So perhaps we can do 2 different key attributes. So maybe empathy or strength. Sentinel is tech and biotic. So wits or empathy. Key attribute. Infiltrator is tech and combat, so wits or strength. Any thoughts? Rogan Commando sounds like a movie title. Sounds like a movie title. Definitely something you can watch. Probably alone. So typically you can distribute 14 points across your attributes. You can assign no less than 2 and no more than 5 points to any attribute. Key attribute in many Year Zero Engine games. Each archetype has a key attribute. You can have a maximum score of 5 in your attribute. Other attributes are limited to a maximum of 4. Okay, so we're gonna 14 points to distribute. Each attribute and have no less than... What's up, Robbie? How's it going? How are you, man? Less than 2 points and no more than 4 unless it is a key attribute, which can have 5. The Last Stand Krogan action movie. Again, movie. Yes, we're doing Mass Effect. We're trying. We're currently building it off of the Year Zero engine from Free League. So we're trying to adjust for we're kind of adjusting the system to see how we can break it in order to make it work for Mass Effect. Supposed to be doing clips from ADHD Monster has its claws in it. Well, it's Saturday, you know? Saturday is for the ADHD Monster to just run fucking wild. Okay. So we have the attribute points, and then we have to find our skills. How many do we get for skills? What's up, Vlad? Okay, so we'll do health, resolve. equal to strength and agility. So your attributes, health and resolve, your attributes determine how much damage and stress you can take before being broken and thus taken out of the action. In Year Zero engine games, this is measured by your health and resolve scores. So your health, your starting health equals the average of your strength and agility scores, rounding fractions up, +1. And then your resolve is equal to the average of your wits and empathy scores. Okay. So your health is equal to the sum of your strength and agility score, rounding fractions up, +1. Resolve is equal to the sum empathy and wits score, rounding up, +1. Music is very soothing, so it might tame the attention. Thank you for lurking, man. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck. Good. May you beat the ADHD monster. There's a whole galaxy to explore. It's going to be an open world kind of adventure. Yeah, so I think, I don't know, like, I think that it would be, ideally what I want to do is I just want to put this out there and be like, here you go. Here's a system that you can use if you want to run a Mass Effect game. And then maybe write like a few adventures for it. But I think that there's so much to the Mass Effect universe that I think that it would be like, I think that it can be open world. Or you can, you know, do like little short mini series based on because we do get a lot of history and stuff within the Mass Effect world through codexes and things like that. So like I was saying before, like you could literally do a whole game on like the first Contact War. You could do one about like the Krogan rebellions and things like that. So I think it is like really fun because the world is so plentiful with information and history that you can choose to dial in on one specific point, or you can just make up something that maybe happens after the events of the Mass Effect trilogy. And you can kind of use like as like the GM or something, you can use like your canon ending for the game that you played, and you can have like your Commander Shepard be this, you know, legend in history, and have the players play in that world, that setting. Oh my god, the Arachne Wars too. Oh my god, could you imagine? Yeah, crazy brutal. I bought some basic groceries. There was nothing else I wanted. Did you wander long enough? Perhaps you should have wandered a little bit longer, Ad. Okay. So we're gonna read a little bit more about Resolve, because I don't know if I... I'll think about it. I'll think if I want to keep Resolve or not. A bug planet. I rebuke you. So skills, typically you can distribute 10 points across your starting skills. In many Year Zero engine games, each archetype lists a number of associated skills. You can only start the game with a skill level 3 in your archetype skills. All of your skills are limited to a starting level of 1. Okay. Hey, why are you doing this? God fucking damn it. Let me. Thank you. Skills. 10 points to distribute. Flat. That'd be crazy. You could play as a Batarian during the attack that destroyed their mass relay. I mean, if we want to get like really nitty, you can even do like, I could make like a skill set for like Protheans, and you can play as the Protheans during the Reaper invasion of the Protheans. Wouldn't that be fun? We have 10 points to distribute. Across starting skills. Each skill can have only 1 point unless it is an archetype skill. Unless it is a skill associated with your archetype. I want to be an Elcor for exactly 1 session. I'll allow it. Or Aquarian. Like, yeah, like there's just so much like that you could do. There's just so much that you could do. And it's like, it's a shame that like BioWare like never actually like came out with a TTRPG for like Mass Effect, because like there's just so much, there's so much to bite into. There's so much lore, dude. Ank. Okay, so we have our skills. We're not going to get into, man, it's like you talk about like personality traits as well. So I need to move. I got so much going on my desk right now, guys. Okay, so we have our skills. We have our race, archetype, attribute points, health and resolve, skills. So there is personality traits, and this is stuff we're not dead set on this. So we have pride. This is something that defines your character and makes them stand out. It can be an ability, an event in your past, or something else. Once per game session, you may check your pride to get 1 automatic success. Oh, this could kind of work. This could kind of work. We were talking about this before, Creature. This automatic success that you would be able to do. I think that this is a mechanic that would implement that a little bit better. In a dice roll, you must justify how your pride helps you. I like this. I like this. Almost like Star Wars in some aspects, where so much lore was created and it would help to flesh out. Yes. And like, I love just plentiful universes. Gonna sign up for a DM character build this week. Ooh. Or Halo. I bought the Halo series and I still haven't played it yet. Whoops. Gonna get your... So we were talking about this, Vlad. I think that something that we're going to implement is a Renegade Paragon dice pool that allows you to pull from that dice pool to sway things in a different way during the game. So it is going to be a resource. It's going to be a finite resource that you have that I imagine would probably maybe replenish once you rest or something like that. But it is going to be a resource that you can pull from that you can accumulate more throughout the game depending on the choices that you make. So you can accumulate more Paragon points if you do things that are a little bit more good and just, whereas you can accumulate more Renegade points doing things that are maybe a little hazardous. Give the players the little tactical brain nugget that they've got a character will nuke up their sleep. Your party places a Cerberus cell that realizes during the turn from humanism to support the Reapers and go rogue. Oh my god, Ad. Anyway. I'm just putting that there. That's good. That's a good one. I like that a lot. Okay, and then we have another thing listed. That sounds like a lot of fun. Weakness, so an Achilles heel that can get you in trouble somehow. Your weakness adds depth and personality to your character and can also be used, oh, thanks for the follow, by the GM to create challenges for you. Role-playing, and this is where we get into like XP and stuff, according to your weakness gives you extra XP after the game session. I'm gonna get through this, but we're gonna snooze that ad for a real hot second, and then we'll take a little break after we get through the personality traits. Dark secrets, something that you have experienced before the game begins that has left its mark on you and still threatens you in some way. Your dark secrets is primarily a tool for the GM to create stories with, but can also earn you extra XP after the game session. There's a group of scientists already, so defo possible one. Like, you have to think that, like, at some, like, you know, there was probably some, like, people that were like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? I don't like this. Hey, oh, relax. This isn't what I signed up for. Big dream. Again, we might change these up a little bit, but I do want to get these down because these are a little bit more in-depth things for your character to think about and your motivations and stuff, which are important. I think that having motivations and weaknesses and strengths that define your character outside of their actual abilities is very important for a character. This is your PC's main long-term goal in the game. During play, you will gain extra XP if you risk or sacrifice something significant to... Oh, that's not how you spell that. Significant. To move closer to seeing your big dream realized. I like that. Another thing I like about these two is that sort of having the XP sort of dangling over your head gives you a little bit more motivation to actually enact your dreams and your goals as in character. Because a lot of the times, this isn't something that is explicitly said in game. Is if you accomplish something that is important to your character, you should be rewarded for it. And it's specifically something that is important to your character, not necessarily the party. I think that that is a very important thing to build in. Have Paragon / Renegade been discussed? Because that would be dope in the TTRPG. Yeah, so we're thinking of doing point pools for Paragon and Renegade, where you can accumulate these pools of points depending on your actions throughout the game that you can use to influence dice rolls or situations, depending on which way you want to go. The biggest downside is that you all are playing as humans, obviously, but you could work in that one or more players were prisoners that were experimented on. True. Yeah, and there's like so many ways you can kind of work in different people. You can maybe even work in like a Geth, very Legion type way. Could even have someone play Legion. And then we have relationships. Your relationship with each of the other PCs described with a short sentence for each. Your relationships are mainly used by the GM to create interesting challenges for you in game. Something that I really like about the Alien RPG is the rival, the buddy and rival. I'm not really going to say mechanic, but it is sort of a mechanic where you have a person in your group who you view as your friend, your companion, your friend. You know, this person is important to you. And then you also have someone in the group that you view as your rival. Maybe there's a little bit of an antagonistic relationship between the two of you. A non-mechanic mechanic. I really like that, and I think I was talking to Ad about it. I like the buddy and rival mechanic in the game because depending on your own personal agenda, your relationship with your buddy or rival can change so significantly during a game based on their own agendas. So if you have someone who is your buddy in game, but their agenda, their dreams are going directly against yours, you have to think how you as a person, your character as a person would react to their friend, this person who they trust and probably adore and would risk their life for, how they would react to that person having goals that go so directly against theirs, versus if their rival who they hate, they abhor, they don't want to be around, they just don't like them as a person for whatever reason, having the same goals as you. Are you willing to put aside your differences and work together to achieve those goals together, or is your relationship too antagonistic to set aside those differences? So I do like having that system in place of these established relationships that can help further roleplay and the story. It seems like I really like that is something that I just want to like crunch into in the Alien RPG. It's a little bit harder because in the games that I've played and I've run, the cinematics are usually a little bit shorter. Like the Chariot of the Gods is, I think we only ran for 4 sessions, and then the one shot that we did off stream was only obviously 1 session. But I would love to do a longer term game for Alien where you actually get into like the nitty gritty of the buddy and rival system and really explore those relationships and the humanity of those relationships. I had that happen, right? Like it's really cool. It's a really cool, like, it's just from a GM perspective, from a player perspective, it's a really cool mechanic that you're able to sort of sink your claws into, sink your teeth into, for RP. Hi, Chunky! The shooting range target, I mean, faux CEO is here. Kind of want to replay the series now. Mass Effect? We're doing a replay of it right now. We're doing our first Paragon run. I was supposed to play that today, but I canceled my Thursday stream, which is what we're doing right now to do this. So I honestly thought what he would do when Jay gave him a command. Yeah, you know, it's like you have to actually like I don't know, like having these personality traits listed out for your character. It's very important, especially if you want to dig deep into your character and dig deep into the story and have those really intricate roleplay moments. And I think these things give you a lot to think about, you know, thinking about what dark secret you have, thinking about your weaknesses, your pride, you know, what your character's dreams and aspirations are. And obviously, like, you do that, a lot of the times you'll do that anyway, playing a TTRPG, but actually having it listed down, I think, is important to beautiful stories. Wait, wrong IP, but still. All right, so we have our relationships. And then here we go, buddy. PC in the group that you feel closest to. I can type. I swear I can. Making a sacrifice or taking a big risk for your buddy will earn you extra XP. You got to run a Mass Effect campaign or I will riot. If we finish this, obviously we're not going to finish it today. I think this is something we might work on throughout the month of January. If we finish this, I got a lot of people who want to play in a Mass Effect TTRPG, so. Yeah, these are the personality traits. We might adjust them a little bit. Don't you forget about me. Cynthia, I could never forget about you. You're my son. Okay, so these are the personality traits. This is something, so personality traits in general are going to be something that is beyond numerical value. And while it is something that we don't have to use all of these, and we can adjust some of these as well. I think it would, I think we can kind of combine relationships and buddy, so we can have the buddies and rival. I really would like to implement that in this game. I think having a buddy and a rival is, I think that would make this game very interesting, and allow for a lot of RP opportunities for the players. I think weakness and pride, I really enjoy. Dark Secret is something that I think maybe perhaps not every character needs a dark secret. If you ever need, oh my god, Jeremy, that would be so fun. I am thinking about running the Destroyer of Worlds game at some point. So, game over, man. Plays the Solarian squad that worked on / deployed. Oh, ad, what the fuck? That's fucked up. Write that down. Write that down. Okay, so I think we're off to a really good start. I want to come back. We're gonna go on a quick break. I want to come back and kind of think about specialty talents. I'm not going to call them specialties. We're going to call them talents. I want to come back and think about talents that we can add for the races and the archetypes. So we'll do a little bit of brainstorming with that. But we're going to take a quick break because I do have an ad coming up and I don't want anyone to get stuck in ad hell. So stick around. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Bye. Hello. We're back. A leggy. Also feel like I should make... I feel like I should make this bigger. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Maybe you guys can read it a little better. I might regret this. Oh! Good enough. Hold on. Creature said something. Dark Secret could be an optional mechanic if someone chooses. Could have benefits as well as drawbacks. Yeah, I think it's like, it's one of those things is if your character's willing to, with the, let me turn this down, sorry. If your character's willing to have like this sort of dark secret that can come back to haunt them, there are benefits to it. However, there are certainly going to be drawbacks. So I think that having that as an optional feature would definitely be great. The alteration on the idea, one of your players is a Solarian scientist, specialized in infectious diseases and was commissioned to help with solving this genetic issue without realizing what it was. And after finding out, you put together a group of comrades to attempt to stop the genophage. Interesting. I like that. Pete's flaws from storyteller. Is that a dancing gummy bear? I like that. Picasso. I like it. All right. So let's talk talents. So for soldier talents, let's see. We're gonna look at the talents that they have sort of available right now in the Year Zero engine before we start looking at stuff to add, I think is probably the best way to do this. All right, so specialties / talent. We're gonna call them talents because once we get into like specializations, I don't want it to get confusing. So talents, so bodyguard, if someone within short range of you is hit by an attack, you can dive in to take the hit. Roll for mobility. It doesn't count as an action in combat. If you roll 1 or more successes, you take the hit instead of your friend. You can push the roll. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that would be, I want to say that would either be, I mean, we could use them for both, right? We could probably put this in both soldier and vanguard. Compassion, you can push any skill roll based on empathy twice, not just once like other characters. I think that would be something that the Asari would be able to do. I think Asari would be able to have the compassion one. Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter would be definitely something for soldier. Fast reflexes, you can draw 2 initiative cards instead of 1 during the initiative roll. Choose the one you want to use. Again, I think that would probably be soldier. Yeah, I think that would be soldier. You can also, instead, I use dice for my initiative for Year Zero engine. And then you you roll a d10. It's easier to use cards because you don't get the repeats, but just because not everyone has cards available to them, and it's sometimes a pain. I usually just roll a d10 and then have everyone roll a d10, like in order. And if you get a repeat, you re-roll. Field Surgeon, you know the delicate art of stopping a wound from bleeding or treating grave injuries. You get a +1 modifier to healing when treating someone who is about to die from a critical injury. So we don't have like a... I think Engineer would be the best one for that. Maybe not. Because Empathy, we would want someone who has Empathy probably as their key attribute, because Empathy is going to be first aid. I think that would be an Adept. Talents, Field Surgeon. Maybe even Infiltrator. No. Yeah, I'm gonna say Adept would have the Field Surgeon talent. Flyweight, when you block in close combat, you can use Agility instead of Strength. Surgeon needs to have excellent dexterity, no? Yeah, but so we're doing, so kind of both, but like in terms of actual mechanics, you're going to be rolling first aid with Empathy. So I feel like it would be, you would have to be like an empathy, your key attribute for your archetype would have to be Empathy in order for it to make sense for you to have the Field Surgeon talent. Infiltrators were commonly referred to as the nursemaids of ME3, and you know, we can go and adjust. We'll have that here too. Why not? So Flyweight, when you block in close combat, you can use Agility instead of Strength. I don't know that that would be beneficial, to be honest. Gut Feeling, you have a knack for sensing when trouble is coming. You can roll for observation using Empathy instead of Wits to detect an approaching threat. I feel like this might be good for... I also feel like Krogan might have Gut Feeling. Balance. Sentinel. Balance. I'm gonna do Gut Feeling for Sentinel. Again, this is me being a little bit arbitrary right now and kind of just feeling how things should look. Changes obviously will be made. I think Adept would also have a Gut Feeling. Vanguard may have Gut Feeling. I like that some of, yeah, I feel like it makes sense though. You know, you when you have sort of, like, these are all sort of combat focused classes, so you're gonna have a lot of overlap, I think, because of just the nature of the setting. Hardened, your maximum resolve score is increased by 1. You can take this specialty up to 3 times. I think that's definitely gonna be a Krogan ability as well. Maybe Turian? Balance. Hardened. I think we're gonna go in and clean up this. I'm gonna clean up this document after stream as well, because it's a little crazy right now. Good night, Justice. Thanks for hanging out. More than one way to achieve. Yeah, and I think that's important too, is like having the flex, because I think that a lot of the time it's a little hard making a character in some of these systems because they are so rigid. So I definitely want to have like a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the the character creation in order for the players to be able to make the characters they actually want to make. I think it kind of sucks sometimes when you have this idea of a character you want to have in your head and you want to like actually play, and going into paper, you're like, oh wow, the mechanics don't actually allow for me to make this character the way I want to make them. Don't worry, I'm here. How'd it go? What'd you get for lunch, Sithy? What'd you get for lunch? Infiltrator will add hardened as well, and then I also want to add it for... we'll do it for Sentinel as well. Again, these might change. Leftover spaghetti. Spaghetti. Hard hitter, you get a +1 modification to melee combat if you sacrifice your fast action. That's definitely going to be a Krogan. Hard hitter. I think we might actually add that to talents. Hard hitter. Healer, you are very resilient and recover quickly from injuries. The healing time of critical injuries is half for you. I feel like Krogan are pretty hardy. Soldier, I think, is also going to be a little hardy. So this doesn't really have anything to do with like your actual attributes or anything. It just, I feel it's almost like your constitution, but not in a mechanical sense. Healer maybe for Vanguard as well. I feel like Turians. Definitely not Quarians. We know the Quarians are fragile. Inquisitive, you can push any skill roll based on wits twice, not just once like other characters. I think that's like a human thing as well. Inquisitive. We're going to do a Asari as well. Inquisitive. This is definitely a Quarian one. Talents. Inquisitive. Solarian. Talents. Inquisitive. So we're going to do Adept. And then talents for Engineer, Inquisitive. And then maybe Infiltrator as well. Killer, you know where to strike to make your enemy fall and not get up ever. When your enemy sustains a critical injury, you may roll twice and choose the result you want. Krogan. Definitely a Krogan. I think maybe Turians as well. Turians are pretty brutal. We're not going to worry about Geth right now either. Adept, Soldier. Soldier. Have that. I think Vanguard as well. Lucky, no matter what horrible situations you end up in, you always seem to make it out unscathed. When you suffer a critical injury, you get to re-roll the dice and choose the result that you prefer. I'm going to go with humans for this one too. I almost feel like you can justify it to your DM. Any class could have any talent. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ones that make a little bit more sense. Like, Killer, like, Krogans are, you know, just vicious by nature, almost. Are you leaving? Sorry.
Clip that chat. Send it to me. Thank you.
Please don't.
He loves me.
No, don't do it. I can't, it can't get out that I have human feelings. I'm a robot. Oh, Drell. Oh my god, we could do Drell too. You are so right, Vlad. Guys, don't laugh at me. Joel, every time, like, I show him affection in public, he's like, oh my god, people are gonna know that you like me. And I'm like, disgusting, stop it. Yeah, we're doing a little Mass Effect TTRPG. Robots don't care if humans laugh at them. I'm a sensitive wobot. What was I doing? I got distracted. Lucky. We're doing Lucky right now. I feel like maybe Solarians could get a little lucky. Like, gotta commit to that drill flashback thing. He's so cool. Adept, soldier, engineer, vanguard, sentinel, infiltrator. No, I don't feel like any of those would really, you know. Every since you do full bot. Menacing, you have a scary physical presence that makes it easy to intimidate people. You can roll for persuasion during strength instead of empathy when you threaten someone. This is kind of what I was talking about in terms of like Renegade versus Paragon. We're gonna put that in Krogan though, just to have it. We're also gonna put it in Turians because I feel like Turians can be pretty menacing. Soldier. We'll do Vanguard as well. Maybe Infiltrator, depending on how you play your Infiltrator. Just talking about Geth.
Yeah.
All right, no, so we're doing it, Santha, we're doing it based on the Year Zero engine from Free League. So we're using that as the basis. Right now we're going through the talents that the Year Zero engine has currently. Talents are basically specialties slash powers that you can use during the game. So relax. Macy is crazy. So how character creation is working so far is you choose your race and you get one talent for that race. So right now we're going through and we're assigning the various talents to races as well as classes. And then you choose your archetype, which is your class, and you get 2 talents for that archetype. So each race and archetype will have a list of talents that are associated with them. So you get to choose from those lists. So when you start the game, you'll have 3 talents. And we're going to also be making up some talents as well to kind of suit and adjusting these talents to suit better for the Mass Effect universe, because the Year Zero engine is obviously supposed to be a little bit setting agnostic. Miri has a plus. Do I have a +2 to menacing? Am I menacing, chat? I don't think I am. I think I'm just a guy. Space crickets and space horn lizards for the win. I do love me a space cricket. Merciless, you can perform a coup de grace without rolling for empathy. Again, merciless. Rogan. We'll also put that with humans. You're a menace. You're only menacing when people first meet you. I was scared of you the first time I saw it. Really? I feel like I'm so, like, I think that's the thing. Like, I do have that like resting bitch face, and I look like I can be really mean. I can be really mean, but I'm not for the most part. As long as you're not mean to me, I'm not mean to you. As long as you're not mean to my friends. I want a Lethal Weapon style buddy film with Karis and Press. God, that would be beautiful. Do you plan to post it somewhere or just? So I'll probably end up posting it somewhere. We'll probably put it on like Itch or something for free. I'll also probably post it in my Discord for everyone to use. I'm only menacing when someone insta-locks Iron Fist. Marvel Rivals has been a treat, guys. I was getting really fucking heated last night. I was getting pissed last night, guys. We had to step back from the game for a little bit. I did reach Lord, though, for Cloak and Dagger ad. I reached Lord last night. I went on and played a couple of solo queues in order to reach Lord, so I have the fancy icon now. Big poggers. Turians will be merciless. We'll do soldiers and Vanguard. You were getting heated. Yeah, I was getting fucking pissed, dude. And we were playing comp at one point, and I was like, why am I playing comp right now and no one fucking cares about team comp? Why am I playing comp right now and the DPS are getting 5 fucking kills? And me as the healer, I have over 20. What is going on? I'm fine, guys. I love playing hero shooters. It's a lot of fun. I distance myself from multiplayer games precisely because of that. I get too heated. They just don't have my level. Like, and here's the thing. I'm not even particularly good at those types of games. I just have the common sense of knowing how to play those style of games. I think that a lot of them think that it's a COD-based game where like it's an objective-focused team game. It's a team objective game. You have to have some sort of cognizance to know that, hey, we're playing an objective-based game. We got to play the objective. And they just don't have that. I'm gonna lose my shit. Breathing is an action for some players. Like, I've seen these people being like, yeah, I solo queued up to Grandmaster or whatever the fuck ever in comp. And I'm like, how are you solo queuing to Grandmaster? Because I can't get out of fucking Bronze 2 at this point. I'm still stuck in Bronze 3 because my teammates are fucking idiots. I get maybe one, for every 5 comp matches I play, I get 1 competent team. Hey. Relax. They're walking by again, maybe. Oh. Snarly, dude. Anyway. That was my Marvel Rivals rant. Sorry, guys. Off topic. Not even a bonus act. I know, it's a full whole ass action. And then they mouth breathe. Nightmare. Okay, so next up we have Musician. You get a +1 modifier to all persuasion checks rolled in situations where singing or playing an instrument is helpful. I mean, I guess we can... I don't know that I want to put that. That doesn't really sound very Mass Effect-y. Maybe a sorry? What do we think? For persuasion rolls in situations where singing or playing an instrument is helpful. Do we think that that's very Mass Effect-y? Does that apply to anything, you think? In a Marvel Rivals gaslight when drilling for Mass Effect and Spawn. I feel like Musician's not very applicable to this. Girl, you better relax. You're getting a little too heated. Chill. Pacey's matching my energy with the Marvel Rivals talk. If you want to be in a space band, fair enough. In certain movies. Yeah, I guess I would say maybe Asari, maybe even humans. Maybe Solarians? We forgot the most important one, Solarian. We'll put it for that. I don't think, you know, we're fine. Maybe Infiltrator as well. I feel like Infiltrator, if you're like being a spy, that could be something that's useful. Broken death metal. It's like the throat singing. Icelandic throat singing. Is that a thing? Am I making that up? Am I spreading misinformation? Down with the EDM. Mongolian. There we go. Pack Mule, your carry limit is increased by 2. I think that's definitely a Krogan thing. Krogan's got a lot right now. We might have to pare this down a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll give the options, you know? Soldier, another one. Pack Mule. We're gonna do anything that's kind of strength-based. Krogan's looking pretty good. Maybe Icelandic. I don't know. Maybe I just got Iceland on the mind. Quick draw. You can draw your weapons so quickly it doesn't cost you an action. I feel like that's Turian. Quick draw. Another one. Soldier. Quick draw. Vanguard. Quick draw. Ooh, Blood Rage as a downside for Krogan. That'd be really fucking cool. I'm gonna note that somewhere. Blood Rage for... we're gonna say weakness for Krogan. Other racial weaknesses. They do be, you know, you're right. Solarian, McDraw, McGraw. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Reckless, you can push any skill roll based on agility twice, not just once like other characters. I think that's definitely going to be humans, Reckless. I kind of think that might be Quarians as well. Maybe Turians. I feel like Krogan aren't really going to be agility based for the most part, so I think that we are safe to not do that. Adepts. I'm gonna say maybe Vanguard. Reckless. Maybe Sentinel. I imagine Sentinel are... they're trying, almost like protectors, so... kind of makes sense if they would want to protect someone, they might get a little reckless with it. Second wind, when you are broken, you can get back on your feet immediately. Roll for stamina. You cannot push the roll. For every success you roll, you get 1 point of health or resolve back. You can only... This is Krogan. This is definitely Krogan because they have that fucking ability when you fucking down them and they get back up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Stay down. I want this to be like a Krogan only ability. Prickishness. Sniper, you get a +1 modifier to your marksmanship roll when firing a single shot. So I think that this... I think we might make this only a class one. So, Sniper... maybe Vanguard. Infiltrator, definitely. Supreme Ignorance. Tough, your maximum health score increases by 1. So we're gonna say tough for humans. Krogan is obviously gonna be tough. We're gonna have to pare this down a little bit. Turians are also gonna get tough. And then we get Soldier. Vanguard. Weapon Specialist, you're an... oh wait, hold on. True Grit, you can push any skill roll based on strength, not just once like other characters. Humans. Krogan again. True Grit for Soldier. We're gonna do anything that has strength based. And then Weapon Specialist, you're an expert at using certain type of weapon. When you use this type of weapon, you get a +1 modifier. You can choose the specialty several times, once for each weapon type. You can be a specialist at fighting unarmed. So I think everyone would be able to get that. That's going to be one that everyone can choose. Just because it is sort of an all-arounder. We are all going to be Krogan soldiers. Shut the fuck up. You know when you type out a word so many times, you're like, is that right? Is that correct? Okay. All right, and then it has magic specialties in Year Zero Engine games that include magic. Each discipline of magic is typically a specialty its own. Such specialties of magic are usually tiered and use willpower points. Go to page 13, but I'm not seeing page 13. Oh, maybe it's because it's talking about tiered ones. Did I misspell it? I did in the last one. Mind your business, guys, okay? I also don't have my glasses on, okay? I can't see that well. I can see a little bit better now. I do need to go to the eye doctor, though. All right. So we have... Pardon? The wiki's being a little fucking weird. So I'm debating putting... All right, so for adept... All right, what do you guys think? For when it comes to biotics, so we have got a couple of classes that have biotics, and also Asari themselves I think are all biotic, like they all have inherent biotic powers. Maybe. What do we think of doing? Thanks for lurking, Dennis. Have fun. You're not scared. No. Everything will be fine. Enjoy. So, for biotics, do we think that each biotic skill should be a specialty? So, if I were to do throw, lift, warp, singularity, barrier, and stasis, should each of those be a specialty? Or maybe should the talent, I keep saying specialty. What defines, so a specialty slash talent, I keep using the word specialty just because that's how it's written in the actual Year Zero Engine book. But so the talent would be biotic. And it would be basically a power or an ability. So a talent is a power and ability that you have. So these are all talents. So field searching, gut feeling, inquisitive, they're all abilities that you have. So would it just be, would we have the talent be throw or lift or warp, or would we have the talent be biotic and you can do one of these things during combat, let's say? This is where it's getting a little bit more game balancing of, do we allow a biotic to have the ability to do all of these things, or do we limit them? You would have access to all of them with a biotic? Yeah, like, that's my question. Should we have it where you have access to all of them? Or we want to have it where maybe you have access to 2 of the abilities and you can gain access as you level up to more of the abilities? Are you going for a class or skill-based system inspired by Mass Effect? So this is, so the base engine that we're running is, we're doing Year Zero engine. So we're building on that engine for Mass Effect to make it a Mass Effect TTRPG. So this is kind of, so we have our races, we have our classes or archetypes. Unsure of whether what actual phrasing I'm going to use, verbiage. How do you want them to become proficient in those specific powers lore-wise? I think it would be, so lore-wise, you could do it several ways lore-wise. So for biotics, I would say you could improve your biotic abilities by upgrading your implant. So there's like different implants, like there's like the L2, L3, L4 implants. So maybe we could have it where a lot of them are starting out with like an L3 implant, and then they have the ability to upgrade to an L4 implant or something like that, which would obviously happen in story. Those that have access to a full range of abilities, and those that have specialized in a single ability and get great. Okay. So we can have like biotic and then biotic specialization, sort of. Yeah, I think my concern is I don't generalist for special. Yeah. I don't want the biotics to get, because like even in like lore, like biotics are supposed to be really powerful. I don't want it to tip where, because that's something that you have to think about in a TTRPG setting, because you don't want one character to be way overpowered over the other characters, because that feels bad for everyone involved. I think that maybe the biotic specialization will come in when you actually choose your specialization for your class. I think that would actually make a lot more sense, is you being able to get that biotic specialization when you choose your specialization in your class. So maybe we'll have it just be biotic, and it can be choose 2 of the biotic powers. That would be throw, lift, warp, singularity, barrier, and stasis. Can be used during combat with a empathy plus insight. I think that's what we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it empathy plus insight roll. I think that makes sense. Have you ever tried the Genesis or the Star Wars RPG? The biotic powers could be modeled after the Force powers. No idea how easy that is to model in years. I actually haven't. Maybe I'll look into that as well. Access to all ability to specialize in 1. Yeah. So I think maybe we'll do it so they can choose 2. And maybe this could be something where they can, in the same vein as the weapon specialist talent, where you can choose it more than once. So as you level up and you gain access to more talents, you can choose the biotic talent again and gain access to more of the biotic powers. Or do you like me and Mass? Same, Sophie. I always forget I have biotics. I always forget I have any power other than shooting things in the face. Only melee. Just punching instead of F, 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 F. Pew, pew. So I think that's how we're going to do it. We're going to be changing the names of some of these as well. I think that for any biotic class, you're going to be able to choose 2 of the biotic powers that can be used during combat. And as you level up, you can spend your XP to buy an additional talent of biotic in order to gain access to more of those powers. In the same way that if you choose to be a weapon specialist, you'll be able to access different weapons. You'll be able to get a specialization in different weapons: sniper rifles, assault rifles, pistol, shotgun. Never did much with biotics till I did a replay of Mass Effect 2. Went full biotic and almost never fired a shot. You know, it's either or, you know? One way or another. We haven't even gotten into hacking. Oh god. Uh-oh. No, I think I like the, because it feels bad to have to like choose only one. So inventory, don't talk about inventory. Don't you fucking talk to me about Mass Effect inventory, okay? You son of a bitch. It's a mini game. What's gonna happen is anytime the player is trying to hack, I'm gonna actually pull up a mini game for the hacking in Mass Effect and make them do it. Okay, I like that. I like that for any sort of biotic, which would include Vanguard as well, and then Sentinel. WarioWare minigame. Okay, I like that. Biggest question to me is who drives the mock? So whoever has the best piloting. We got a pilot, and pilot, it would include like ships. That could be another one. We could do a piloting specialization one where like you have like a specialization in driving like the Mako or driving a shuttle or driving like an actual ship. Many thoughts. Okay. Have our adept. I'm actually gonna call this weapon training instead because that aligns with the verbiage. Oh god, I have to go in and replace all of them. Fuck me. I struggled with the word specialist for no fucking reason. I was way off. I'm just thinking the Citadel DLC where Garrus pokes up Shepard talking all like pushing. We can see a whole session being the adventure of mountain climbing in the Maka. I know, Sithy. I know. Listen, I love driving. I am the type of person. I'm gonna climb that mountain in the most ridiculous, non-efficient way, and no one can stop me. No one can stop me. I'm gonna do it. I've been training. I've been training. I've been training. 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 God damn it. Oh, fuck you. My fucking fingers just betray me constantly. Mako's great for shooting space. You know, when you were trying to do a Paragon run and you just keep killing the space monkeys on purpose. Helium, I assume. Which free leaks I've run Alien RPG. I've played in the One Ring, Vaesen. Oh god, what else? Let me pull up what they got. Dragonbane, I've played in. Morkborg. I've also played the Lord of the Rings, the D&D version of it. I played a little bit of Coriolis. Someone say, hi, Duff. How are you doing, Duff? Yeah, Duff, we're doing, we're building a Mass Effect TTRPG, but it is very much, it's based on the Year Zero engine, so we're pulling a lot from the Alien RPG. I haven't played in Blade Runner yet, no. I bet Frieza says the same thing. Oh, I like that. Vason-styled HQ upgrades for ship. I like that a lot. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. Oh yeah, I love the Year Zero engine. It's so good. It's so versatile. Yeah, I'm looking for, I can't wait for Walking Dead. I'm excited for that. All right, let's go to the 2 specializations. I'm gonna think about how I want to implement specializations, because right now for specializations, it really just gives you a bonus percentage to like your damage or whatever it is. So I think I want to think about how to implement specializations a little bit better, rather than just giving like bonuses in that capacity. Prepping for Monday's AC game while working. Joel's been talking about it. He's excited for that. As a DM, every single time they go to the Citadel, it should be a completely different layout. Really give the Mass Effect. Where the fuck is everything feel? Yeah. Same with like the Normandy. It'd be like different. Your ship changes occasionally. It does a little restructuring on its own. Blade Runner is so... I would love to play Blade Runner. I think Alien though, Alien is like my bread and butter though. The Alien universe is just so good, and I think that it's just so fun to play in the Alien universe. Just because like, man, hope dies last. Like you got like it's the helplessness that you can feel while playing that game. Too much death in Alien. See, I love that. I love the fact that, man, you could try to survive, but something's gonna go wrong, and you're not going to. Blade Runner will probably be my next free league game. Nice. I do want to try Alien, but I am obsessed with Mothership at the moment. I have like the Mothership. I had like the deluxe version for Mothership. I haven't yet played any of it. Haven't run any of it. I definitely want to at some point this year. We did normally on this channel, we do our table flip is me literally flipping through various TTRPGs that I've collected over the last couple of years and learning the system. We did a Mothership edition. We did Mothership a couple of months ago. Oh yeah, the 60 Deluxe is real nice. But yeah, we did a little table flip of Mothership a couple of months ago and started learning it. I want to run it because I love space, man. I love space games. That's why I love Alien so much. No way, gonna die. Yeah, I think we're gonna think about how to implement the specializations a little bit better. And then let's go to Soldier. Let's see what we got for Soldier to see if we can use any of these. So for Soldier, we've got Bodyguard, Fast Reflexes, Healer, Killer, Menacing, Merciless, Pack Mule, Quick Draw, Sniper, Tough, True Grit, Weapon Training. I feel like Sniper and Weapon Training is a little redundant. So we're going to take out Sniper and we're just going to have Weapon Training because you can get Weapon Training in a Sniper Rifle, which is the same thing. Yeah, I think that is a hefty amount of talents to choose from, I think. Is it Mothership death-filled? Yeah, a little bit. It's pretty dangerous. I picked up a few things at PAX Unplugged, so many Motherships. Oh, I've got a bunch of Mothership zines as well. And I think the really cool thing that they've been doing, what is it called? It was a Tuesday Night Game Publishing. That's who publishes it. They've been like kickstarting a bunch of zines for Mothership, a bunch of like supplemental material, which is really cool. I don't know if it's necessarily Kickstarter. They're like fundraising for a bunch of the zines, which is really cool because it's a nice. I think that's the way that Free League does a lot of their books as well, is they do a lot of Kickstarters for their books. Gotta try Nemesis board game, but so much like Alien RPG, the minis are awesome too. Ooh, I think I've seen that in my local game store. I'm pretty sure. My big thing right now is Shadow Dark. Shadow Dark's a lot of fun. Yeah, oh yeah, the Bounty Hunter I was looking at that. I didn't end up backing it just because it was a little too close to like Christmas time when I was looking at it, and I was like, I gotta fucking spend money on people. But yeah, the Bounty Hunter looked really fucking cool. I was reading about it. It looks like just having those like additional rule sets is it adds so much to the game, especially it being like, you know, optional rule sets where you don't actually have to lock into them. Engineer. So for engineer, we've got inquisitive, weapon training. I think we're also going to do medicine. Or maybe we'll do first aid. And then again, we're having the same thing for in terms of biotics. Do we want to have each? So if we have decryption, hacking, electronics, and damping. I feel like these are not as powerful as the biotics. Because like obviously with biotics you can use that in combat and it's a powerful ability, whereas like decryption, hacking, electronics, and damping is a little less combat heavy. Maybe I'll just have it called tech training, where you get to choose to be tech powers, which would be encryption, hacking, electronics, damping. And again, you would be able to stack this. Does Coriolis have like psionic and man, this was like a couple of years ago that I actually played it. And we didn't play like a whole lot. I don't think so. They might have had like the optional rules, but I don't think that like how we played the game, it very much was more of a kind of more of like a Mothership style like space game that we played for Coriolis. Like Mothership or Alien, where it was like no like sort of powers or anything like that. Forbidden Lands. I'm gonna check out like Forbidden Lands and Genesis and the Star Wars TTRPG as well, just to see what they have implemented for it. Because like also what I don't want to do is I don't want to make this overly complicated, because the whole draw of the Year Zero engine is that it's very easy to pick up and very easy to understand. So I don't necessarily want to make a whole new mechanic for biotics. I want the biotics and like the tech and everything to be implemented in the talents mechanic, where I don't have to, you know, create a new pool. So it's like, oh, you're using your biotic, so you have to draw from the biotic pool. I think that instead just having the player roll to see if the biotic works is suitable enough without then having them to have to worry about a whole new resource to keep track of, if that makes sense. So I just like, at the end of the day, I want to make something that is, one, it's familiar because it's Mass Effect, and I want it to be something that people can use and utilize for any sort of Mass Effect game that they want to run. And it's easy for them to pick up. It's easy for the GM to learn. It's easy for the players to learn. Without having to learn all of like the other like nuances and stuff. That like that's just the draw for the Year Zero engine for me, is the simplicity of it. Vanguard. Again with the biotics. I think Vanguard has a lot though so far, a lot of talents, so I don't know how much I want to actually add to it. Yeah, I think Vanguard is good. Sentinel, again, you would get you get biotic. I'm gonna say call it biotic training as well as tech training. Training. Then infiltrator. And again, like the thing, like I like that there is overlap for these things. Just because it allows you to create the kind of character that you actually want to play. Weapon training. So infiltrator also has tech training. I'm also debating if I want to do like the specific armor for each class, because each class has access to different types of armor. I think I kind of want to do that. So infiltrator has tactical armor. Vanguard also has tactical armor. Ooh, agave lemonade. Delicious. Sentinel, I think, has no armor. Engineer. Engineer has basic armor. I also want to look at, like, I also want to draw from, because right now I'm just looking at the Mass Effect 1 powers, so I think I'm also going to look at the other ones as well, like Mass Effect 2 and 3, to pull from. Soldier is combat armor. Then Adept is also basic armor. I think my worry too is like getting a little overboard with everything. I don't want to make things too complicated. Thanks, Sophie. Alright, so let's put, we're also gonna put incendiary and cryo ammo. Just, we're not necessarily gonna use these, we're just gonna put them down. Shockwave is biotic thing. It's charge and shockwave. Okay, shockwave and charge are biotic. We're gonna add that up here. Shockwave. I like the more this is test played. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's very much just like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's gonna stick. Is assault mastery. I think we could probably use assault mastery. It's basically just like a buff. +1 to rolls? Question mark? Nova is another biotic power. Also biotic charge. Well, no, that's the same thing as charge. Okay. Yeah, I think we have a good base so far. I think, you know, it's really just a matter of pulling it all together and eventually like test playing it. We were talking about that, Chrome. We were talking about Arachne Wars campaign. We were talking about that, the Krogan Rebellions. Ad brought up doing a... Hold on, I have it written down here. Your party plays as a Cerberus cell that realizes that during the turn from humanism to supporting the Reapers and go rogue. Like... there's so much within like the lore of the Mass Effect universe that you can like, you don't even have to play during like the trilogy. Like you don't have to play during that. You could play before, you could play after it. I said that first Contact War game, that'd be so fucking cool. It'd be so dope. Where are we? Sentinel. Tech armor. Overload. Cryoblast. Fender. Infiltrator, disruptor ammo, disruptor cryo ammo, tactical cloak, incinerate, AI, hacking, operative. Sabotage. Soldier. Shot. Disruptor ammo. Incendiary. Cryo ammo. There we go. concussive shots. Engineer. Combat drone. Oh my god, a combat drone would be really fucking cool. AI hacking. Overload. Incinerate. Cryoblast. Sabotage. Sentry turret. That'd be really cool to play with, like having drones and little turrets you can set up. Yeah, I like this. I like this so far. I think that we've been going for about 3 hours now. I think this is a good spot to leave off on. We have a lot to think about, many thoughts, many things. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna clean up this document a little bit as well after stream. I don't think I need to stream that. That'd be really boring. Man, I'm really excited. I think that we got a lot done. We've thought many thoughts. We've done many things. Thank you for hanging out with me today, guys. We'll probably be back next Thursday for some more. We'll delve into. We'll try to think about the human race, the human talents and Nasari talents and all of that. And then we'll probably delve into actually writing all of the talents out as well. Making up some more talents. We'll discuss some of that. I think we got a good start. We got a really good start, I think. So thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you guys so much for helping me out. I appreciate you guys. We will maybe be back tomorrow morning. We might be doing some Marvel Rivals tomorrow morning. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. But we got some more streams coming up next week. We'll be actually playing some more Mass Effect, probably on Tuesday, because we're doing our first Paragon run. I've played Mass Effect a whole bunch, and I've never done a Paragon run before, so we're actually doing a Paragon run. And then Table Flip next Thursday. Maybe some more streams on the weekend. We're still a little loosey-goosey. I don't have any TTRPG games besides my Monday Night D&D right now, so it's a little loosey-goosey for me. I'm assuming eventually all of this will be on Discord. I'll be putting it all on the Discord, so if you're not a member of the Discord, feel free to hop in there. That's it for me, though. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Thank you guys for hanging out. I got no one to raid into right now, so unfortunately I'm not gonna raid anyone. That sucks, but no one I like is live. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.